All right, happy 2017. This will be a goals for 2017 video. I'm just probably going to keep it posted on Norga Performance on the main page. So what I figured, and I appreciate, there's like 19 subscribers now. I'm sure most of you guys came over from my other page where it kind of became more of like an outdoor page, less of a motorcycle page. So I appreciate it, I really do. And this year what I want to do is try and become more of like a teacher. I don't want to say that I'm teaching you something, but I'd like to share the information that I've learned. And hopefully if you're building your own bike, or you're working on your own bike, or you're just interested, maybe you even got a car and you want to see some other people's opinion or whatnot. So first thing I want to do, I had made another video on my other page about books I recommended, and I just want to start off this year by saying, if you're watching this channel and you're building a turbo bike and you don't yet have either one of these books, you're fucking up. And
okay, we're back at it. I want you guys to go out and buy this book right away. It's 40 bucks. It's called Forced Induction Performance Tuning.
Now, if I legitimately think about what made me go the fastest, or what, like, per dollar that I've spent, how much, I guess, what those dollars have equated to, this book is worth $10,000, okay? And as far as I'm concerned, a guy dropped off my old turbo kit. He put it on a 750, and he's been having some issues getting it tuned, and works a lot, so basically dropped it off. We're gonna call him Jade Killer. So Jade Killer's bike, my old turbo setup is back in the house, and I'm gonna be doing the fuel system, which when I redo the fuel system, I'm gonna go through every single component that I'm using, and we're gonna go over different styles of fuel systems, like different styles of returns, why some have T's, etc., etc. We'll try and simplify that. I'll do some charting, some diagrams. So then I'm going to do is fuel system. I'm going to go over the entire bike. I'm going to cut the intercooler, the air-to-air intercooler, down a little bit so he can lower the front end so he can do some drag racing. And I'm going to tune it through ECU at my friend's dyno, which is close to my house. So other goals this year are I'm sure a lot of you guys are like, what happened to JP's turbo build? Well, I didn't make the May event. That was the last event of the year. We'll get into what happened on another video, but I am going to be finishing that, and then in May 21st there's a half-mile event in Chicago, and they're gonna let bikes run on Sunday. So my goal is to get down there and hopefully spank a couple like Lambos and GTRs and stuff. We'll see. I'd like to get a 200-mile-an-hour half-mile. And yeah, so other goals this year are to get out to Loring. Loring is the longest airstrip that you can race in the United States. It's located in Upper Maine, so I will be going to an event hopefully in July where you're gonna see some cool bikes. My buddy Don, he's the guy with the compound turbo bike. He'll be there. I'll have a couple other buddies there, so I'll show you their bikes. We'll kind of get to talk to them and maybe learn some other stuff. We'll talk to Steve, who's a fabricator for Don's bike, etc. So yeah, last thing that I wanted to do was give you a little background about myself. I'm in my 30s, lower 30s. I have been building stuff forever, ever since I was a little kid. My dad was an engineer, old school engineer with blueprints, and kind of showed me a little bit how to machine. So I work as a boiler operator. I have my high pressure license, so that's where I think my understanding of boost, or of a pressure and flow, might be a little superior to some of the people in the turbo bike game, just because like I'm coming at it from more of like a, I don't want to say scientific, but more of like a realistic point of view, where my job, my work kind of relies that, how to put it, that it's like physics is real, and sometimes you do see some turbo people kind of bringing up stuff that doesn't quite match the laws of physics. So I think it's really important to keep in mind that what we're doing is we're simply pressurizing an engine. And we'll get into that later. I'm going to go into turbo sizing from this book, and we'll go over a couple examples of turbo sizing on different CC bikes. Another thing I want to do is go over some injector sizing and explain to you, like, let's say we had a 250 horsepower Hayabusa, a 250 horsepower 1000, a 250 horsepower 600. I want to explain to you that if you use the minimum, the smallest injectors you could get away with, why the 600 would need the largest injectors. Because I think sometimes people, they assume that CCs, because they say, okay, I want a target horsepower, and then they look at the CCs of the bike and then assume that the components would be sized accordingly. And we'll go over that in another video. Because I think some of the stuff is real important, and I think if I can hopefully share conceptually why this stuff is important, then all of a sudden understanding it becomes a ton easier. So last but not least, so end of February, I plan on putting out the fuel system, simple fuel system, turbo fuel system. We're going to do that on Jade Killer's bike. We're also going to do some ECU editor stuff on Jade Killer's bike. And then ideally I'll get some dyno tuning of it. And that'll be by the end of February. Then February I plan on really cracking down on my bike. And we'll get back to part 8 of the 2000, it's actually going to be the 2017 Gixxer 750 build now. And I'll kind of explain some of the changes, maybe why I didn't finish the bike, some other stuff that happened. I look forward to... Oh, and last thing, if you guys have questions, man, ask me the questions in the comment section. You might get... Like, my answers are very factual, so if they come off as snippy, please try and read them as if I'm trying to give you the most facts possible. It's really hard to answer emails, and part of the reason of doing these videos and trying to turn you on to books like this is because, like, these will explain it better than I can. And on that note, sometimes the reason I don't put out videos is because for me to put out a video where I'm not just talking and people are just watching, where people are actually getting knowledge from it, I have to sit down for an hour and actually plan what I'm going to say, and I need to make some graphics and stuff. So that's my plan, is when I do put out videos this year, is that, there might not be a lot of production value. There's not going to be a cool intro. There's not going to be cool music. But what I plan on giving you is legit fucking information. All right, guys.